Of course, the commissioner of the NFL got a contract extension. You don't care, but it's a good opportunity for me to rail on the commissioner of the NFL and all that comes with it. So the commissioner, who's been commissioner for several years, his name is Roger Goodell, he's done a masterful job as a puppet for the NFL owners. He's really, really good. I don't know of anyone else who could be as qualified as a puppet for their bosses. So the owners are his bosses. If you ever wonder, I've actually played through a strike. Well, left when the strike started, lost my contract once the strike started. But if you've ever wondered, and I know there's no sympathy on either side, the billionaire owners or the players. I'm not saying that you have sympathy for either side, but you do have to understand that the commissioner doesn't work for or with the players. The commissioner of the NFL works for the owners. They pay him. They decide on what he does, what he doesn't do. So it's a pretty one-sided relationship, to say the least. But that's not the point of this. You're not going to care, but if you were part of the most powerful cartel on the planet, and yes, I use that term, that's the owners. If you were part of that 32-person powerful cartel, you'd rehire Roger Goodell also. You probably would say to yourself, I don't know that I could find another person who would kiss our ass and be as much of a puppet as the current commissioner of the NFL. You better believe we're going to rehire him. The commissioner, in case you didn't know, has agreed to a contract extension that takes him through, I believe it's 27 or 28. It's going to continue to pay him, because I don't know what the new deal is. It's going to continue to pay him between $35 and $40 million a year. If he were an NFL quarterback, based on yearly compensation, he would be among the top 10 in compensation. It's a pretty good gig, but to be fair, he's been sitting there as the doofus puppet during the most profitable time of any sports league, probably anywhere on the planet. Business has never been better in professional football, and Roger Goodell, the tool that I think he is, has been there during the biggest growth of all time. So the money's there. But he would be one of the highest paid quarterbacks in football if he were a player. Now, I want you to think about what I'm about to say as if the job description were posted to Indeed, LinkedIn. Give me some others. What else is out there? I don't know. What other job sites are out there? Think of commissioner as a job post. That's what I want you to do. So you'll fully appreciate, now you can disagree with me, but you'll fully appreciate what exactly it is this guy does. And then, as a conduit to the most powerful cartel on the planet, what a masterful job he's done. You ready? The job description, let's just act as if you were scrolling through at the office. You wanted to leave your job. You want to get out of that cubicle if you ever go back to the job. You want to get out of your underwear at home in your apartment. You want to find a new job. You're scrolling through. And the job description of the NFL commissioner would read like this. Must be adept. I'm going to try to use job description terms, stuff like that. Must be adept at long-winded news conferences with no starting nor ending point. Experience needed with organized crime members and law enforcement. A proficiency, that's like a job description word, right? A proficiency in using many words in a monotone way without making any sense. Or having a point, or having a direction, and the applicant must be skillful at not offending anyone. The job description would go on to say, the ability to use the phrase, we're looking into that, is a must-have skill. Just so you know, the commissioner says, I don't care if his hair was on fire. He would say, we're looking into it. Remember several years ago? So bad. It was one of the worst handling of a horrific event of any management playbook I can imagine. Remember when the running back for the Baltimore Ravens, Ray Rice, was caught on video punching his fiancée in the face on an elevator? Okay? I mean, we can point out a lot of scandal. A lot of scandals. So I want you to fully appreciate the job description phrase that says the ability to use the phrase, we're looking into that, as a must-have skill. Because I don't care what happens. He's going to say, we're looking into that. And I can run down a list of 15 to 20 major issues that have happened in the football industry. Concussions, contract disputes, labor negotiations, players' claims on injuries on turf, concussions, assaults. I can go down the list. Oh, yeah, and kneeling. Keep that in mind. Okay, so you're looking on, you're scrolling on LinkedIn, you say, man, I want to be the commissioner of the NFL. So you're scrolling through this, and this is what you have to do on the job. And you know what? You're not going to be as good as Raj. Raj is really good at this stuff. So the ability to use the phrase, we're looking into that, is a must-have skill. Experience at sucking up to ultra-rich men is a must. The candidate must have, I'm making this up, must have at least 6 years of working closely with private investigators and attorneys, and must have experience in non-disclosure agreements and legal settlements. There's your job description. Not one of you would be as good as Raj. There is no one more qualified for the job I've just described. Not doing anything, not saying anything, and finding a way to cover stuff up, no one is better than Raj. He's so good, he's worth $40 million. What his real job description is to protect the cartel. Remember how Michael Cohen was Trump's fix-it guy? Roger Goodell is the Michael Cohen of NFL owners. Now, Michael Cohen, of course, went to jail. Michael Cohen, of course, has written a book and probably hosts a podcast about his time working for Donald Trump. But before he came out, that's what Roger Goodell does and still does. He's the fixer for his bosses. And his bosses are untouchable. They're the 32 most powerful people on the planet, and nothing gets to them. And that's what Raj's job is. I'll give you plenty of examples how nothing gets to them. It would get to you. It would get to anybody else, but it doesn't get to them because Raj is really, really good at saying, boss, what do you need me to do? Like Michael Cohen would do. He'd get Trump out of anything. That's Raj. He's the most qualified person anywhere. The guy think about this. Think about all these things that he has done to make him go away. Go away. Make the issue go away. Not solve it. Don't put any sort of management expertise to it. Make it go away, Raj. Got it? The guy got Colin Kaepernick to disappear, mostly. Most people couldn't even tell you. They could tell you all they want to about Colin Kaepernick and kneeling and blah, blah, blah. Very few people could tell you that Colin Kaepernick was set to get a deposition on collusion. Did you hear that? Did you hear that deposition? Did you see that video? Did you have any idea what happened with that? That's because Raj said, okay, give me the cash. He'll go away. Now, I didn't kill him. That's what his bosses do. They kill people off. So Raj is like the fixer who doesn't kill off the people. He just gets it to go away every time. And he's good. He got Colin Kaepernick to disappear. He was Dan Snyder, the pervy, corrupt owner of the football team that's in Washington. I mean, this dude was a mess. Guess what? He got Dan Snyder to get $6 billion and go away. You know why he got Dan Snyder $6 billion and had to get him to go away? Because he was going to rat out his bosses. Raj will make sure you don't turn on the cartel. Got it? He got every accuser of Jerry Jones to disappear. And that's a long list. All of them disappear. Jerry, in fact, was the first owner today to be quoted as saying, we got to vote on it, he's coming back, or something like that. Yeah, because everyone that has ever accused Jerry Jones of anything, and seemingly pretty justified, they go away. He found a way, okay, in maybe the most pathetic and despicable way. Raj got in front of it, and Raj found a way to spin. He spins because he doesn't say anything. He goes to these news conferences and he just sort of speaks in this monotone voice, and everyone kind of falls asleep, and you have no idea what he said because he's not going to say anything. What it's code for is, I will protect the cartel. He found a way to spin the owner of the Patriots' nude sex video at a place under investigation for human trafficking, by the way. He found a way to get that video, which no one would ever want to see, of the owner of the New England Patriots in a strip mall. He got that to go away. That just went away. If it were a player, it wouldn't go away. If it were a player, they'd be suspended. If it were a player, he would give a speech about conduct and respect and blah, 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 blah. But when it's the owners and they're naked at a place being investigated by the feds, it goes away. Everything goes away. That's why they pay him $40 million. So, he made concussion litigation. And all the sad stories of players, famous players, older players suffering the effects of concussions, which turned into a book and a movie and blah, 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 they go away. See? Every other candidate for this job would have their own thoughts. Every candidate would have their own moral compass. Not Raj. I don't think there is a compass in there. The man truly is the ultimate puppet. You couldn't find a greater yes man than Roger Goodell. So he's rehired, and I don't know if the owners, the most powerful cartel in the world, running one of the best businesses in the world, I don't know if they're ever going to be able to find a replacement. I don't know how many different ways you can put that job description that I read out there on LinkedIn or Monster, or whatever they are, Indeed. I don't know if they'll ever be able to find a replacement quite like him. Really. He's the fixer in the ultimate way, with no conscience, seemingly no conscience, no pulse. He's the ultimate fixer, and nobody's better than old Raj.
Jeff Ward, weekdays on 102.7 ESPN.
Hey, if you've been hurt by the negligence of someone else, okay, don't even worry right away just about the injuries. Let's talk about the paperwork, the insurance companies, and the unbelievable hassle that goes with an injury. So take it from me. When injured by the negligence of someone else, I want you to contact DC Law. You want no part of the paperwork. You want no part of the phone calls, dealing with insurance claims adjusters, getting lowballed on a settlement. Hire an experienced attorney and get out of the way. It's stuff you don't want to mess with. The decision as to who to hire can feel overwhelming, but it's not. It's really pretty simple. For 25 years, DC Law has been helping clients in the Austin area. DC Law has 2 locations here in Austin. With DC Law, the consultation is always free. You pay nothing unless DC Law wins your case, and they will. What you need to do when injured by the negligence of another is just call Dan Christensen. He's right here in Austin. Dan's a military vet. He's board certified in Texas trial law. He's board certified in trial law. So do this. Talk to Dan Christensen before anyone else. I found him incredibly thorough, easy to deal with. The process is good as it can be. So make the call to DC